Odyssey app and listen anywhere with News Radio WRVA.
Join the conversation. Find Rich Herrera on Facebook at Rich for America.
This is Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera on News Radio WRVA.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's 8:36 here on News Radio WRVA. My name is Rich Herrera. Breaking news I will pass along to you right now. The official Iranian news agency says that the attacks against Israel have stopped. They're going to go back to this ceasefire. This is moments after Donald Trump sent out another missive demanding that Israel and Iran stop shooting each other. So Iran's going to hold up their end. They said, that's it. We're done. We fired back in retaliation for Israel attacking Hezbollah. So they attacked Hezbollah. We're attacking Israel. Donald Trump says, hey, both of you knock it off right now. And Iran has said, okay, we will capitulate to the president's wishes. The fighting against Iran will cease immediately. So we'll keep an eye on whether they keep their word on that or anything else in the response back from Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel. We'll keep an eye on that for you this morning here on Richmond's Morning News. Okay, second thing I wanted to bring up this portion of the show is the UFC fight that they're going to have on the White House lawn. So they've already put up the facade. They put up the construction's been going on. The scaffolding, the lighting, the sound. It's a two big semicircles connected over the top, which will make up the infrastructure for the fight on the south lawn of the White House for UFC 250, in conjunction with all the celebration that you have at the White House for the 250th birthday of America. Controversial? I don't know. Is it? The Octagon being in the people's house. I know there's a lot of people that have rolled their eyes at it. I know there's a lot of people that think it's beneath the dignity of the United States of America. I know there are a lot of people that are pushing back against it simply because it's Donald Trump. And I've thought about this quite a bit. Now, full disclosure, I never worked for UFC, but I did work for Bellator, which is one of their competitors. So I traveled the country. I don't know. I didn't know anything. I knew less than anything about MMA. Nothing. Didn't watch it. Didn't know anything about it. What had happened was WFAN in New York needed someone to cover a fight. It was a boxing match. And they didn't have anybody they could send. So they called and said, hey, Rich, I know you're a talk show host, but can you go be a reporter for us? I'm like, you're going to send me to a fight? Sure, I'll go. And that started me working with this promotions company. So I did the first fight. They go, wow, you did a great job. And they wanted me to call in a bunch of different radio stations to get them to promote the fight on pay-per-view. So I did pretty well at it. They go, hey, Rich, we'd like you to become our pool reporter covering some boxing matches, and we want you to go on the road for the big tentpole events for this MMA outfit. I'm like, I don't know anything about MMA. They go, you just have to stand there and do an interview. So just like when Tony Schiavone was with us last week, the wrestling announcer, I just go, hey, tell me about the fight. And I'd stick my microphone in their face and I'd just, do the little interview. And all of a sudden I'm like traveling around once a month to these big fights for this MMA outfit. So I got to learn more about the fights. I got to learn more about MMA. I had to in order to keep doing this little gig. Got to know a lot of the fighters. Michael Chandler, who's going to be fighting at the White House. I'm trying to get him on the program before the fight. It's been pretty remarkable. And like I said, I had a great time following around, saw some amazing fights, met some amazing athletes. So I'll just say that am I the biggest MMA fan in the whole wide world? No, but I will watch it, and I do enjoy because I see how hard that sport is. But immediately when Donald Trump said, hey, I'm gonna have this at the White House, the elite started saying, ugh, how gauche. How dare you have something like this on the White House? Donald Trump goes, I don't care. We're going to do it anyway. And to me, this is why Donald Trump connects with people, with real people, not those in Northern Virginia, not the elites, not those in the East and the West Coast, but the people that drive pickup trucks and actually live paycheck to paycheck, which is most of us. MMA is huge. MMA is a sport that continues to grow. We just had Dana White on the Brett Boone podcast. So if you're a sports fan, I got a podcast that I produce and I co-host with Brett Boone. We just had Dana White on the show. Like today, Albert Bell's coming on the program. So we had Dana on. One of the questions I wanted to get asked was, why is MMA, why is UFC the next big thing that actually popped? Because forever you heard, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. It's going to be hockey. It's going to be soccer. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. This is the next big sport. UFC is the one that actually supplanted boxing. And I would venture to say it's more popular than hockey. And it's given basketball a run for its money. And it's right there. Probably the top three most passionate sports bases are the National Football League / college football, Major League Baseball, and I think the UFC. So Donald Trump embraces this because those are real Americans, and he invited them to come out to the White House. And I thought to myself, is it beneath us? I don't know. But is it American? Absolutely. And if you want the elites to stand there, then go show some opera singer out there celebrating an operetta. If you want real Americans, then you do UFC, and that's what they're doing. Now, there are two guys. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's men or women, but they're two Virginia residents that filed a lawsuit to stop it. Are they stopping it because they actually believe in what they're saying, which is they filed a lawsuit against the National Park Service and the Department of the Interior seeking an emergency injunction to stop the event? According to the lawsuit, organizers ignored federal permitting rules, skipped environmental reviews, and triggered conflict of interest concerns. Or is that just a bunch of lawyer speak by some people that have Trump derangement syndrome that think this is beneath them, and they're going to attack the White House and tell them they can't do it? I'll open that up for you. By the way, coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, Cup of Joe's here. Super Dave's not. I'm just going to run wild and take over the show and go to 10 o'clock today because I do want to open up phone lines and I want to hear what people have to say about the UFC being at the White House. So, Cup of Joe, I'm just going to give you a notice right now. We're going to go to 10 o'clock today. I'm going to take telephone calls. I really want to hear what the American people, I really want to hear what people in Virginia have to say about UFC coming to the White House. And two people from our Commonwealth are saying, no, we don't want that there. And we'll make sure that we pound our feet and don't want it there, as much as they can. We'll take telephone calls about that. You want to comment? I'll take your text messages. We read the best text message, 655, 755, 855. But to me, this is just, folks, can't we just celebrate America? Can't we just celebrate how great this country is? I do want to talk about this with you coming up after the top of that. So I'm gonna blow off everything else because we did it Friday. I'll do it again. I want to take your telephone calls about that. So think about it. Is it good or bad to have the UFC hold a fight on the White House lawn? Would anybody else have the guts to pull that off? Or is Donald Trump just trashing the place, making it into the Trump Taj Mahal? Because that's the other thing I hear quite a bit. 833-804-1140, James River Air text line.